Gentlemen, you're welcome to Sports Arena. My name is Onakwa Milabi, and today we have a whole lot of things to talk about in the world of sports. Now, if you haven't heard, Chelsea have sacked their manager Pochettino after taking them to European places next season, and of course, we're going to open that discussion as well. Also, another discussion we're going to talk about is the fact that Pep is doing wonders in the EPL. People are saying that he should be crowned the greatest Premier League coach of all time. We're also going to talk about that one as well. One more thing is the future of Mo Kudus. We hear teams are sniffing around him. Should he go? Should he stay? What should he do? We're going to talk about that one as well. My name is Kwame. Like I said, I'm here with Francis, who today has changed his position, sitting in the middle. He wants to get direct contact with his people and his fans and our viewers out there. And of course, System Boy Vincent also seated right across me. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah, always a pleasure to be here in the studio with you.
Great. We can't even continue the conversation without stating the fact that Arsenal did it again. They bottled the league. It's like we all saw it coming, but we just had to wait for it to end.
Maybe when our predictions all come inside.
Yes, all our predictions came through.
I don't know who predicted that Arsenal is going to win the league because I went for City.
He did.
You also went for City, right?
Yeah, no, I went for
Liverpool.
I actually went for Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yes, I
Oh,
went for Arsenal.
I
okay.
predicted Liverpool to win the league.
How do you predict against what team?
But I told you.
It's like your voice is low.
Somebody
Watch the voice.
I told you here.
Somebody
the
say-
day we did the
somebody
production,
say Odegaard will win player of the season.
my friend,
Somebody
you
say
know plastic
Bukayo
cups.
Saka
hey,
Bukayo
hey,
Saka will
hey,
win
hey.
young player of the
See,
season.
make I tell you, if you make up your mind, say they won't come worry me today, I will come on my suit now, go worry you. Me, I will tell you this matter. You Kopama way on the bone.
Odegaard no win.
Kopama player.
Buta self, you know win.
You know what?
Let's face reality. Put Kopama, Foden, Ni Odegaard ho. Yembobo, wait me anyway.
And you're born in a young young player of the year.
Within your heart, those boys they know
Within your
ball
heart, man.
Oh,
play. They know ball play pass Odegaard.
I don't have a heart, please. I beg you.
You,
What is within your heart in football?
Kopama.
What is within your heart in football?
Foden, only ball bossing way Odegaard. That's not captain.
So make Odegaard show.
Forget this British fake bias awards they are giving.
Hey,
Now
You
this
go
season,
nominate
Gallagher
Virgil van Dijk,
South play
William
pass
Saliba.
Odegaard. Conor Gallagher this season, he play pass your Odegaard.
okay.
That
We'll
be why you go Europa League.
we'll come to that, but still on the EPL.
I'll go win now.
Pep Guardiola has done it again. 6 Premier League titles, man, since he came into the EPL. Now people are saying that he should be crowned the greatest coach in EPL. Francis, what do you
Charlie,
think
people
about
should stop that joke. They should stop that joke, man.
Why is it a joke? Why are you calling it a joke?
What do they talk? Say make them make Guardiola the greatest manager of all time in the English Premier League. Them be later they Saints fans or what? Let's be serious for crying out loud. Guardiola is a brilliant manager of our time. Our time. Of all time. We are talking about the English Premier League. We have a manager that won the league 13 times. 13.
You're the president of
He alone, he win and pass Chelsea and Manchester City combined. Every day.
you know past Chelsea and Man City combined. Continue.
When they talk matter, then they want to talk what?
Enzo.
Okay, stop that joke, my friend.
Enzo.
Sir Alex Ferguson, the former Manchester United gaffer.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention Arsenal coach.
Oh my guy. Arsene Wenger chopped like 20 years, we win 2 or 3 Premier League. It's a failure in this guy.
Oh, wow.
Forget that guy. He be the problem from Arsenal. That's why people like Chelsea's Vincent, they go can't sit here. They talk say Arsenal will not sing. We are the champions of Europe. Never will you sing. We are the champions of Europe.
Might be
But
true.
Arsene Wenger is the best manager
In your
to
head.
have come from
In
Arsenal.
your head.
Mention any other coach apart from Arsene Wenger where he be top coach like Arsene
In
Wenger.
your head.
Arteta now, or
Arteta.
Unai Emery. So mention any other coach.
Arteta way.
Me like this, mate, not both. I go fit mention Jose Mourinho. I will fit mention
Proceeding.
Gusinde. I will fit mention Carlo Ancelotti.
Ancelotti.
Who you go mention?
I will mention Vincent, system boy. Sure, let me tell you, back to serious business. On a more serious note, they should stop that argument. It's latter day sins that will make the argument. For a manager to win the Premier League on 13 different occasions is not by no means fluke. A joke. It's never a joke. And if you watch the brand of football that Sir Alex Ferguson's side played, and the caliber of players that he has produced, you know, people say Ferguson bought star players. Ruud van Nistelrooy wasn't an already made star before he came to Manchester United. He was playing in the Dutch Eredivisie before he bought him. But we all saw the kind of player Van Nistelrooy was. We saw players like Cristiano Ronaldo from Sporting Lisbon. He brought him on board. We saw his impact on Manchester. We saw Rooney. We saw Peter Schmeichel, the goalkeeper. We saw Eric Cantona. We saw Andy Cole, Dwight York, Steve McManaman. We saw players like Roy Keane, even to some extent Rio Ferdinand from Leeds United or West Ham. We saw all those players. Brilliant players by all standards. That stepped up. The man has set his standard. When you walk through the door at Old Trafford, he started playing into that permutations or that particular team chemistry, or you are getting up. That's the reason why you see, you saw players like Diego Forlan came to Manchester. He never worked out for him. He had to go. You understand?
Yeah.
So for Manchester United and Alex Ferguson, I think Alex Ferguson is the greatest manager of all time. No one can take that away from them. I don't like Manchester United because Manchester United were the direct rivals of Arsenal during the Ferguson-Wenger days. They pushed Wenger to get the best out of his invincible sides. So we got players like Pires, Beckham, Vieira, and co. Because they had their individual battles too. Aside the managers, the players themselves have individual battles out there.
The Vieira
when Mourinho came, he took the press conference war to a different level. And thereby people start paying attention. In the past, no one even paid attention to the press conferences. But Mourinho came and then he brought that to England. And ever since that has been narrative across the top 5 major European leagues. So, in my eyes, the greatest manager to ever manage in the English Premier League
is Sir Alex Ferguson.
Sir Alex Ferguson.
But people have raising the whole argument that because Pep was able to get 4 consecutive Premier League titles ahead of Ferguson and put the likes of Mourinho and even Arsene Wenger. That's why people are saying that he's probably one of the greatest, because I'm not sure that there's anybody who has been able to do that in the APL. I think that's why people are saying that. What do you think about that?
The 4 trophies on the row,
Yes.
or 6 trophies out of 8 seasons or 8 seasons, because in his first season he went trophyless and
Yes.
club won 1 and he won 6. So see, let me tell you one thing. One thing about Pep Guardiola is he is like Ferguson Pro Max. He has his standards. If you are playing well, you don't always need to be the best on the pitch to play for his team. David Silva wasn't a bad player when he left Man City. Kun Aguero wasn't a bad player when he left Man City. Ike Gundogan wasn't a bad player when he left Manchester City. Yaya Toure wasn't a bad player. Company wasn't a bad player. You understand? He look at certain things. He has his own boxes. As a player, you have to tick those boxes to be able to play for him. Rodri got interviewed after they won their recent distance. They asked him, what's the difference between you and the rest of the Premier League? He basically said Arsenal played a fantastic season. They should have been winning the league. But the difference between they and Arsenal is the mentality. You understand? So if a player can tell you that is the mentality, then you look at who is coaching the player. You get me?
Yeah.
Sometimes he substitutes Kevin De Bruyne and he and him will basically have a go at each other. He said, yes, I took him out because I want him to feel it so that next time when he's out there, he will know that I can equally take him out. So you give out his best. It's the mentality. He look at Gabriel Jesus, scan through him. He doesn't know where I am, where I want to go. This boy will not take me there. He shipped him out.
And Arteta went for him.
And that is the doing of Arteta. It's his own personal problem. It's not me. Everyone knows that Jesus is not an Arsenal material. He can't even play for Chelsea.
Oh, that one is a fact. Of course.
You understand?
So according
to me,
to you,
Sir Alex Ferguson is the best, but Guardiola is a fantastic manager.
All right.
Maybe, probably, depending upon the number of years you stay at Man City, he can go on par with Sir Alex Ferguson. But for now, one person, 13 Premier League trophies, bro, it's not a joking thing.
It's not a joking thing. But before we continue to visit, I'd like to remind you that you are watching MYBET.AFRICA TV on YouTube. Do well to click that bell notification so that anytime you drop a video, you can be able to see the video, like it, drop some comments, have some banter underneath our video, and then we are good to go. And of course, if you want the best odds when it comes to sports betting, MYBET.AFRICA is the best platform for you. Remember, for persons 18 years and above, and they are regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Vincent, they say Pep no reach like that too. What be your mind?
Oh, Pep they rich, but I feel like being the greatest of all time in the Premier League, it's not bad. Let's say if we are cutting it across, like, can Pep be one of the greatest managers in the world? There are several factors. You could mention, or you could factor on, say, oh, you believe that Pep Guardiola is the best or the greatest of all time for you. But in terms of the Premier League, there's a lot of factors that comes in when you want to, select who is the best manager. In terms of selecting some of the best managers in the Premier League, I might say that maybe Jurgen Klopp might not be in the top 10
Of all time.
of all time,
Yeah,
or in the top
definitely.
20, if you are being honest.
You have won only one.
And it would depend on the criteria that we used to select. Sir Alex Ferguson won 13 Premier League trophies in his first 21 seasons with Manchester United. And I think this is Pep Guardiola's 9th season or 8th season. He has time to be corrected. And he has won the league 6 times, 4 in a row. He is the first ever manager to win the Premier League 4 times in a row. And also the first manager to win trebles twice with different teams. And it tells you how Pep Guardiola is. Although at Barca, he won a lot of trophies. He went to Bayern, won the Bundesliga, but failed to win the Champions League. Came to Manchester City, won the Champions League for the second time he went to the final. And I think that is an impressive job for him. He's won a lot of trophies in Manchester City and is still counting. And if he could still be at Manchester City for more than 21 years, for more than 20 years, like how Sir Alex Ferguson, spent those, incredible years at Manchester United, I think that Pep Guardiola might even win more than 13 trophies, because already 9 seasons and he's having 6 trophies. He's also doing well in Europe, also winning other domestic trophies. So I think in terms of, comparing these coaches in terms of their Premier League era, and I think that Sir Alex Ferguson is, indeed ahead of Pep Guardiola. I might say that maybe he might be in the top 3, top 5 greatest of all time managers in the Premier League. He's done incredible stuff with Manchester City. And I think a lot of people have been saying that Pep Guardiola, he has the oil money, he has this, but there's one interesting thing that we are not, punching about, or we are not talking about a lot, because let's see the players who left Manchester City to other Premier League clubs or to other top clubs, and let's see the kind of players that have, improved when they joined Manchester City. Let's let Nathan Ake, who was with Chelsea, went to Bournemouth, then came to Manchester City. Let's see the massive improvement. We also saw Kyle Walker at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
We've seen the improvement. We also saw John Stones at Everton. We've seen that improvement.
Manuel
Akanji at Dortmund. See how he's playing. Rodri Cascante from Atletico Madrid.
Yes. From Liverpool.
Yes.
He played one of his best football.
When Raheem Sterling left City, when Gabriel Jesus left City, right now, Zinchenko Grabo is a lost stone at Arsenal. So, I say all the players who left Manchester City, we believe that these players have the potential. Then Guardiola is selling them. See Cancelo. See the players are almost free City. So it tells you that aside from he being a top coach, he being a tactician, his man management, he always tries to say he will get the best out of you. Onyo say then I think he will get rid of you. So I think that is one thing is helping Pep Guardiola, and indeed he has improved the Premier League status. People might be saying right now the Premier League has turned to Farmers League, but that's not the issue. It means, or a standard, before you can win the league, you have to beat him.
Yeah.
See the number of times Jurgen Klopp tried to beat Pep Guardiola, and he won the league just once. It tells you how, we're improving Manchester City team. So I think Pep Guardiola is one of the best coaches in the Premier League currently, or maybe in the last decade, he is the best manager in the Premier League. But I don't think he's the greatest of all time or the best manager to ever happen in the Premier League.
All right, in the next 30 seconds, I'll give you the opportunity to rate your top 5 coaches in the EPL.
This season?
No, not this season. Of all time, if you can.
Wow.
The top 5. Without prejudice, without bias, without...
The top 5
Wow.
Premier
Top
League.
5, according to you.
in the league this season.
No, not this
No,
season.
overall.
Overall,
All time.
Wow.
Sir Alex Ferguson on top. In the past, Liverpool had some decent managers. In the past, the name just
Is it
escalated.
Kenny Dalglish?
Kenny Dalglish won about 5 or 6
Yeah.
trophies for them.
Benitez never won one.
No, Rafa Benitez never won any English Premier League trophy for them. I think Dalglish, if we go into memory, Dalglish should be among. You look at, because of longevity, people will look at Arsene Wenger because they said he has changed a lot about the English game in terms of their diets, their training regime, and all those things. Arsene Wenger, then probably you've got to mention Pep Guardiola for what he has done. Then in terms of what someone has brought to the league, not necessarily the number of trophies the person has won, I think Jose Mourinho needs to get into that list.
Wow.
Yes, Jose brought a lot to the English game. The latter day Saints fans, really, most of them love the English Premier League because of what Jose brought on board in 2005. I think that's 4, right?
Yes, that's 5. I think
So Alex Ferguson, Dalglish, Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, and then Mourinho. I think these guys, they deserve to be there.
All right. Vincent?
I think Sir Alex Ferguson will be the first manager, and Pep Guardiola will be in, Jose Mourinho will be in. So Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, and I think the last one could be, is it Claudio Ranieri who won the EPL with?
Yeah,
Okay,
Leicester.
so yeah, I think I'll go for Claudio Ranieri from his spell at Chelsea. He had a fantastic season with Chelsea. He's been in the league several times. So I think I'll go for Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep, Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, and Claudio Ranieri. And maybe I could bring in also Harry Redknapp for his longevity in the league. Yeah, so yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our second conversation for today, and it's something that might interest or will interest a lot of Ghanaian fans, Ghanaian football fans. Mohamed Kudus, what a fantastic season he's had in his first season that he signed for a team like West Ham. I mean, I for one, I felt West Ham was too small of a club for him because of the achievements he's had in his former club, that is Ajax, and how highly I rated him into going to the EPL. But it looks like this season he proved everybody wrong. He proved the point that he is a player that can change the game, change the face of the game. And now there are interest from other clubs. I know there's one strong interest from a team like Liverpool because there are rumors that Salah might leave the club and they need a replacement. Now I'm going to start with you, Vincent. With what Mohamed Kudus has achieved at West Ham this season, do you think that he should leave the club? Vincent?
Well, I think Mohamed Kudus had a fantastic season with West Ham. We all saw what he did with Ajax, although his first seasons with Ajax, because of injury, we couldn't see the full potential of Mohamed Kudus. And Kudus is someone who can play everywhere. I mean, at the forward side of the team. Can play as a left wing, right wing, as a false 9, as number 10, and at some point as number 8 in the team. And I think some of us, even before Kudus was, leaving Ajax to the Premier League, some of us were expecting Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City to make the move. But it also depends on how the style of play of the managers, if Kudus is going to, fit in with the style of play. Because even when Kudus was coming to Ajax, I said it several times that I don't think Kudus is going to bench Jared Bowen. It's either the coach is going to find a way to fill.
When he was coming to West Ham?
When he was coming to West Ham, he's going to find a way to fill these players. And this season, Jared Bowen is the best player for West Ham. He's been the best player for West Ham this season, and maybe Kudus is also there. And I think that currently, Kudus, if Kudus wants to be there, if Kudus wants to be winning, those player of the seasons, Kudus wants to be getting more of the goals and more of the, because you see how West Ham plays. West Ham is that team that plays, low block, and they don't really attack as much as, these big 6 clubs in Europe or in the Premier League. So I think if Kudus, if Kudus moves to, one of the top teams or one of the top 5-6 teams the Premier League, is going to be, I mean, a massive improvement for his career as well. And I mean, every player dreams of playing one of the top class in Europe or in the league they are playing in. And I don't think West Ham is the best team in England right now, maybe the top 5 teams in England, right? So if Liverpool wants Kudus, I think it's a fair deal because the new coach, Arsene Slot, who is coming in, is a big fan of Kudus. He's also coming from the Eredivisie from Feyenoord, and he know Kudus, he know how he plays. So if Kudus, I mean, relationship or rumors with Liverpool is part of Arsene Slot's decision, and I think it's going to be, I mean, a good transfer for Mohamed Kudus. But with Arsenal, I don't think it will be a perfect destination for Mohamed Kudus because you have Bukayo Saka, who they say is their star boy, and of course he's an England.
They say,
Yeah.
don't you know he's their star boy?
Well, me, I don't know if he's their star boy, and so I don't think it's going to be, I mean, a nice move for Mohamed Kudus as well. Manchester City, I think if Pep Guardiola wants Mohamed Kudus, then it means Mohamed Kudus is going to start because as of now, Manchester City doesn't have, I mean, any proper right winger. Although this season, Phil Foden has been playing from that side, and if Kudus is going to fit in the team, because I've said he's a utility player, can play anywhere at the front, and it's also going to be a good signing, and also for the Mohamed Kudus as well. Liverpool, if Mohamed Salah is going and Kudus is going to fill those, I mean, it's going to be a very hard task for Mohamed Kudus. But I think in terms of the big 6 clubs, Liverpool is the best destination for Mohamed Kudus as of now. Comparing to Chelsea like this, we have Kopama, who can also play anywhere like Mohamed Kudus. We have Angelo, who went on loan, that Brazilian wonder kid. We have Noni Madueke. We have this Jamaican guy, I didn't call Ipswich Town. I forgot his name. Omari Hutchinson. He's also coming back. And right now, they said there's some.
Omari Hutchinson, is he not Ghanaian?
No, he's a Jamaican.
He played through Arsenal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's a Jamaican.
Really?
Yeah.
Omari.
Yeah. Omari, Omari.
You know, that guy dominated the head news some time ago
Yeah.
when he was at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And people were like, he's a Ghanaian. I'm sure a portion of him is from Ghana.
Maybe. Then we don't know about it, but I know for a fact that.
And also, and I think we also have this Estavio Williams from Brazil and Kendry Payas from. I mean, he's from the same country with Moise Caicedo, and they all come in 2025. So I think the best destination in the Premier League currently for Mohamed Kudus, I think, for me, I think Liverpool will be the best destination for him.
All right. What do you think? The Kudus should stay? Kudus should leave? What are your thoughts?
Well, he's young. If he wants to stay, no problem. He will still dazzle in this team. But when he has the right offers, he should step up. He's 22 or 23 years now. So he's in that getting to the prime of his game. And Kudus himself, one thing about Kudus is he's self-motivated to play. He doesn't need anyone to motivate him. He sees himself as if he's a star boy. He sees himself as if he's the face of Ghana football. He sees himself in West Ham as if he has where he came from, right to dream, North Jalan, Ajax, tussle of war in between the clubs to get him to West Ham. He feels like this is the template. It's a curtain raiser. Let me use it to elevate myself to the next level. So he's on a mission. West Ham is never the end of Kudus. He will get better with the season. I think 8 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah.
8 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, brilliant. And we saw the goal he scored against Freiburg. Or is it?
Freiburg.
Freiburg.
The solo goal.
Yeah.
The solo goal. We saw the goal against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, the control and the finish.
Yeah.
We saw the goal against Man City on the last day. He has scored some absolute scorches this season. And if you look at him, he has talent. I think if he decides to stay at West Ham, he will not stay at West Ham in the 3rd season. Even the 2nd season, it will depend on him and his team, whether he wants to stay or he wants to go. But I feel his talent, he can fit into any of the top 6 clubs in England. Because he himself wants to prove a point to a whole lot of people and himself. He's self-motivated, and that's so good about his game. That's one thing people don't realize about his game. He doesn't need you and I to push him to the limit. I saw him at AFCON, and the way he was there, if you see the way the boy plays, Kudus is a superstar. He should stay or go. Depends on him and his camp. Whatever decision they take, I'm in support of that.
All right. So the whole Kudus situation, I don't know. I sometimes feel like you just like they say, you bow out when the applaud is loudest. You just bow out, you just leave when the applause is loudest. I feel you've seen players who go to a team, they kill it in their first season, and then subsequent seasons they just don't cut it. We've seen players like that. They come to their first season, they are clean, they come to prove a point that they're one of the best in that particular season. The next season, things just don't go well for them. I can mention a lot of them. So with this precedence, I'm talking to you, Francis. With this precedence, I know that yes, Kudus, you said he's self-motivated. He knows that he can fit into any team. Do you still think that he should still stay? I mean, like you said, he's getting into his prime. Why shouldn't he take his opportunity now?
When the bigger clubs come calling, like Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Manchester United, Kudus has to go. You saw after they played against Manchester United at the London Stadium where they beat Manchester. Peter Schmeichel, the Manchester legend, questioned the decision behind Ten Hag going in for Anthony instead of Kudus if he really knows the boys very well. Kudus is a great player. Make no mistake about it. He has it in him. It's inside him. When he steps up, sometimes it's paid off, sometimes it doesn't pay off. He can dribble. He can score from long range. He can lay down assists. He has everything. He can tackle when he wants to do that.
Yes.
He can score set pieces as well. So if you look at him, he's a complete player. I've not seen any newcomer in the league, like from a different league, into the English Premier League last season. You know, he's Gary Neville's newcomer of the season. The least they did. Gary Neville picked him.
Yeah.
So that tells you that he's a good player.
Jackson also did well.
Jackson did well, but you know, Jackson, people will judge him based on the number of chances he has missed. People are not looking at, in terms of numbers, Jackson is one of the finest players that have stepped into the league in their maiden season and have scored loads of goals. Yeah.
14 goals, 5 assists.
You see, so that's about 20 goals involvement per season in the league. So people will look at that and say, okay, he has racked up those 15 goals, but he has had numerous chances, guilty chances or clear-cut chances that he should have been putting away. So with Jackson, now that there's even a shift of manager, I don't know how the permutation. You know, Chelsea, they are unthinkable. They can just decide to let him go. You understand?
Now that you said this, let's it moves into my next conversation about the whole sacking of
Mauricio
Pochettino. I mean, personally, as a Chelsea fan, it was a big blow to me because in his last 5 games at Chelsea, I mean, he racked up a lot of goals and he was able to qualify Chelsea to European places. That's like good news for any Chelsea fan. I mean, in the last two seasons, we've not been played in Europe, and when I realized that there was a possibility for us to play in Europe, I mean, I felt good about it, and I felt like Pochettino has been able to crack the thing at Chelsea, and then now they are playing like a team that wants to win something. Let's not forget the fact that someone like Cucurella was playing like an animal. He was in his best form in the last games at Chelsea. Now, the decision to sack Pochettino, Francis, do you think it was a step in the right direction?
It's not a step in the right direction. I sat here in this chair and I told Vincent and Benedict and yourself that Pochettino is not a bad coach. They should let him stay at least a season. And all of you nearly lynched me.
We not get still.
That was when that was at the peak of the poor results. So you guys never picked sense in what I was saying.
That's because we're still playing poorly.
Yes. But let me tell you one thing about Mauricio Pochettino. Lots of things will be revealed after his dismissal or after he has parted with the club. One, Pochettino was forced to stop playing Thiago Silva by the board. There are cracks in there. They'll come out. You listen to all of them. I'm privy to some of them. Because I go to the rumor mill, I read a lot about the happenings around the clubs online. In the last 5 matches, Pochettino basically decided to go against every single handcuff that they've put on his hands. Like, Bowie, system way, Bowie. He threw everything out of the window and decided to go his way.
Yeah, especially with Conor Gallagher. If it wasn't for Pochettino, he wouldn't be with Chelsea.
You understand? So that was the reason why Chelsea finished the season properly. And he went to them to speak. He spoke with Todd Bowley, eyeball to eyeball. He told him,
Yeah, they had a meeting on Friday.
yes, that the things I wanted to do, you guys didn't want me to do that. The systems I want to play, you guys said you have a system. We are supposed to play like this. We are supposed to play like that. Use this player A, use this player B. And that is not my way. And going forward, I want the owners to come out openly to back me if they want me to get the job. And Bowley told him in that meeting that the managers, the owners of the club, the board, they are not happy because they felt like Chelsea had a superior squad than Tottenham, than Aston Villa, they mentioned than Newcastle. But those teams play better football and then got better results than them. To be frank, Chelsea on paper they've recruited the next 5-6 years generational talents better in Europe. Chelsea currently have them. You look at Mikhailo Mudryk. You look at Christopher Nkunku. You look at Nodi Madueke. You look at Cole Palmer. You look at Nicola Jackson. You look at Chelsea. They have it. Yeah, you can't take that.
Enzo Fernandez.
Moise Caicedo. The one that got injured. The one they bought from Romeo Lavia.
Yeah. Let's not forget the other big guns. I say big guns because they're...
So with that, the board has this thing. But they have a manual that they are handing out to the managers that you've got to stick to the manual. You've got to play. See, sometimes Jose Mourinho is branded as Chelsea's most successful manager. But he never played any good football. This first season they won the league, Chelsea conceded 15 goals across the division. And I don't think any club can ever replicate that in the English Premier League. They lost only one match. People forget that. Just in that season, Chelsea lost only one game in 2004-2005 season.
Yeah.
But people still criticize Mourinho for playing with pragmatic football, low-line football. They sit deep with McLeary at the heart of everything.
Considered just 15 goals.
You understand?
That's not easy.
Coaches always, Arsene Wenger plays expansive football, but he will not win you trophies. It got to a point in time, Ivan Gazidis, the CEO of Arsenal, said, Arsenal fans globally does not rate trophies. It's not always that you win trophies that you get fulfillment. You've got to play good football. And you can tell that in 2007-2008, Arsenal were on top of the league prior to Eduardo da Silva gotten injured at Birmingham City that they bottled the league. Adebayo scored 25 goals that season. That was the reason why Man City and all the best clubs in Europe came calling for his signature. You understand? Yeah. But sometimes, the Chelsea owners need to understand that football is run in a manner. Abramovich will get you the players, but he won't tell you how to play the players. He will leave you to do your own thing. When you are not delivering, he comes down there with a helicopter and fire you. They should learn to recruit and leave the players. You see, one thing that people don't know about Florentino Perez, people are trying PSG. They are trying to copy the PSG, Chelsea, the current Chelsea team. They are trying to replicate what Florentino Perez does at Madrid. But Perez, he has people that advise him. He will not take advice from the coach. But he has a board that understands football. That's how come they call him the godfather of European football. See, you look at Modric, you look at the German machine, Toni Kroos. They would have offloaded them long ago. But they've realized that, no, we need young players to come and learn from these guys. So they brought you Chouameni. They brought you Kamavinga. They brought you Jude Bellingham. They brought a certain Vinicius to understudy Karim Benzema. They brought Rodrigo to understudy Karim Benzema. You see, at the time Benzema left the club, there was no gap. At the time Ronaldo left the club, Benzema stepped up. At the time Benzema left, Vinicius stepped up. Now they are on the verge of recruiting one of the finest talents in the world in Kylian Mbappe. You look at Federico Valverde. You look at Tchouameni. You look at Kamavinga. They are prime. They arrived. They've won Champions League. They've won La Ligas. They can now play on their own. That is how you build a team. So with the Chelsea hierarchy, that was the reason why they had a problem with Thomas Tuchel. Because Tuchel felt like, yes, you are buying the players, but the players you are letting go is too early to let those players go. Because at the end of the day, you are going to judge me by what? Performance and trophies. And as much as those guys are supposed to understudy and learn and give the results 2 years, 3 years to come, we need instant results. Because Chelsea is not a club that will be run on a model of, let's give you 5 years, 6 years to start winning trophies. Never. I felt like Mauricio Pochettino didn't think twice when they offered him the job. He never negotiated well. and it came back to haunt him. But letting him go at this particular point, it doesn't make any sense in terms of footballing wise. It's a wrong move that they did. It's a wrong move or wrong decision that they took as club owners.
Vicente?
Yeah. Nana Kwame, I think with this Chelsea project and the new owners, there's a lot of things going on. And with Pochettino being sacked means since 2000, Chelsea has they have had 23 men at the hot seat since 2000.
Wow.
A change of coaches are 23. And I mean, in the last is it 3 seasons, it's been 5 managers that. And I've read a lot of, issues and news about this Pochettino sacking, and we didn't see it coming. Because when Pochettino met with Todd Boehly, you see the new ownership is between Todd Boehly and Clearly Capital. So they are co-owners. And Clearly Capital is Badad Egbali and Dad Jose and other people who are with the Clear Lake. And Todd Boehly is the chairman, our Munina co-owners. And right now, Chelsea we have new sporting directors in there, Lawrence and Paul. These people came on board to be the directors of sports for Chelsea because of the Clear Lake Capitals. And they're all working with Todd Boehly. So according to reports, after Mauricio Pochettino meeting with Todd Boehly, after that they asked and he was like, how can he go on a meeting or a dinner with his enemy? So I mean the meeting was very fine. And with reports coming in indicate that Todd Boehly told Pochettino point blank that he likes the progress. He likes the progress. But then the other board members say they believe in the process, not the progress. Although we won our last 5 games, we were able to get a spot. We were able to get a spot in Europe. But then they believe that Egbali, they are data-driven people. Do you know that after our last game, the Chelsea, technical team, you catch them, so the season is done. They should go on holidays. So Pochettino's assistant coaches, and Anibas Sebastian Pochettino is also part of the technical team. They are all in America. But Pochettino ain't Manko. But he was called say there's season and so on funny report
like a review.
Yeah, a review. That was when Okoshia, Paul and Lawrence, that's the sporting directors. And they told him say, yet there is an improvement from our last or previous seasons, but then we still believe that this and this and this. And one thing Amadio Nantiman go through, because Pochettino was ready to do his 1 year, then maybe if they are going to assess him on his performance or whatever, he didn't care. But what he requested was that once I'm the head coach and I'm doing the job, let me do the job. Let me have a say in player A, in player B, in player C. Any player, either we are buying this player, either we are selling this player, I have to have the final say.
Basically, he wants to have a say in the incoming
understand?
and the outgoing.
Yes, because
it's
it's
the
because
one going to
reports
See,
saying that
the Chelsea guys, Vincent, sorry, the Chelsea guys are just behaving funny. You know, they even accused Pochettino of snitching on them because they said in between, is it Nodi Madueke and Conor Gallagher? They said at the end of this season, they want to sell one of them. And the man told them that he will not allow them to sell any of those players. And they said, because he was the one that they had the meeting with, how come the thing leaked to the press? So they are suspecting him of leaking.
So
it. But what shows that any of them that sat in the meeting is not any of them? So it was like back and forth. And the way they are running the club is just funny. It's funny.
Yeah. And when it comes to the Chelsea owners, Todd Boehly wanted Pochettino to stay because they had seen, the progress. But with Egbali, with the data, the database and strategy in the they believe like Poch didn't do well with the kind of spending they did, and some of the players they believe that this is the issue. So my data statistics is not
they even question his training regime.
Oh yeah.
See, if we want to talk about this thing, you'll be angry. So how can you tell a coach managing a team that his training sessions are too intense? That is the reason why most of the players are getting injured all the time.
Yeah. So
who does that?
I think that the Clear Lake people know. Right now, after the sacking, so the two parties couldn't agree. Say either Pochettino is going to extend his contract, and Pochettino made it clear that if I'm not going to get this and that, then I have to go. Because Ejuma, after all, if team, is not performing, the
It's
people, me na yebebo me dividend Pochettino, and I mean, that's a dent on his CV. And he doesn't want the fact that maybe yebebo half of the next season, the Pochettino will be sacked. Nah, ban his CV, so he doesn't want that. So that is why when he made his point clear, and the Chelsea sporting directors who said, okay, this is what we want to do, then the both parties agreed to say they are going to part ways. And for the first time since these new owners took charge of Chelsea, I haven't seen Todd Boehly in their press statements. Already, whenever Chelsea sacks the coach, almost the press statements, you see Todd Boehly, having some quotes in there. And this time around, and it tells you how. But then, after the sacking, there's been a lot of names coming on. And the projects are now, the names are Eba Bontino. The Chelsea hierarchy and as of sporting directors say, they want emerging coach. Someone who is coming, someone who is young, and someone who plays an attacking football and also possessive football. So the names are Mobo Modino, Enzo Mascara, who was with a friend saying Leicester City.
The one with the vex with Krabby, the Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank, I don't see any possession. Just that they play direct attacking football. But so the name say Eba Bontino, the Stuttgart coach, he's fantastic. But then that coach, he has. Bayern wanted to go and sign him. He said he doesn't want to leave Stuttgart. He doesn't want to leave Germany. So if he doesn't want to leave Stuttgart and Germany, how come is it possible? So right now, we're reported by Manchester, he is very hard to get. But right now, the main names on the list now Chelsea for the Leicester City coach Enzo McKenna of Ipswich. He's done great stuff with Ipswich Town. Or don't qualify from League One back to Championship, and Osanso Dioma qualify. So in 2 years, two promotions.
My point
and
is,
you see, this is Chelsea.
Exactly.
So they are. So with the kind of criteria our modern celebrity coaches need here, these are people who fit in emerging. They are young. They play possessive football. They play attacking football, and also their defensive are also good. And there's one name, Eba Bonte, which is De Zerbi. But let's look at this.
I suspected that the moment De Zerbi said he was leaving. I saw it coming.
He had been approached by Chelsea.
Don't be surprised to see De Zerbi as the next manager.
He also fits the criteria that the sporting directors are looking for currently. And I think that looking at the fact that Pochettino is gone, he did well, and right now Chelsea is looking for a new. This is Chelsea. Chelsea was built to sack coaches and bring new coaches to win trophies. So you win 2 trophies my second season, then Neymar will sack you. And we should ask ourselves, this is the same reason why at Chelsea, when they sacked Thomas Tuchel, it was a shock. Almost all Chelsea fans, Obi Abufi, but with this Pochettino, it be more actually because some of us feel like the kind of players we had, although we had a lot of injuries, people also believe that we could have done better and stuff. But this is Chelsea. The kind of managers on board Modino, I don't think they have that pedigree and class to manage Chelsea. This same thing happens when we sacked Thomas Tuchel and went in for Graham Potter. Graham Potter was doing very well. The data, statistics, everything was, backing Graham Potter. But when he came to Chelsea, he failed. I'll call Bruno Sotter by Frank Lampard by Weyaba. So I think that let's look at Real Madrid. Right now, although of late, this total football I don't me to the extent that I don't know why if you are playing football, is it by force or something starting fresh? Because because you have to get a goalkeeper who is ball playing goalkeeper. Then goalkeeper no onim say yen chibon onimche. Look at Onana. Yes, so a ball playing goalkeeper. This season, accurate passes, but you're sharing from. And this is the last time United in -1 goal difference. So what is the essence of getting a goalkeeper who knows how to play? Or start to ball it from back. Then at the end of the day, you're going to lose.
That's why I cut it short. If you want to talk about this Chelsea,
so I think that a team like Real Madrid, although football is let's start from the back. But a team like Real Madrid, he doesn't care if you are starting from the back. They are sticking to the team's culture. Do you believe if some time to come, that building from the back, tiki-taka stuff, from if it changes, then we are going to pack the bars style of football. Do you think Barcelona is going to adapt to that system?
It's never going to happen.
Do you think that Real Madrid is going to change his system? No, it's not. It's never going to happen. So I think that Chelsea is Chelsea. We should stick to our tradition. Me, Pochettino and I are permanent. I feel like we because we are building a project. He came in, new players, a lot of things, and we started saying yeah, gather momentum. So I to me there, I believe say Nelson can man chance. But if Pam Pochettino at first Chelsea a Pam coach, but
The next coming is
the
an
next coming
upgrade, yes.
either Madrid coach, Barcelona coach, Bayern coach. But right now in Stuttgart, grown and Ipswich Town. I think it's very sad. It's very sad.
All right, so it's very sad. These were the words of Vincent, and of course, Francis also feels like yes, it was a bad move for Chelsea to sack Pochettino. What do you think about this particular move? Do you think Pochettino should have stayed? And who do you think should be the next Chelsea coach for the upcoming season? Don't forget that Chelsea will play in the Conference League, and they also have the opportunity to play in Europa if Manchester City beats United in the FA Cup. Is it FA Cup final this weekend. Thank you so much for watching us on my MYBET.AFRICA TV. My name is Nana Kwame. I did this with Francis and I did this with Vincent as well. You can do well to click the notification at the bell up there, so anytime we drop a video, you can be one of the first few people to watch the video. Big shout outs going out to Powersman 69 also, and of course Asaka. These are my producers here. And of course DJ Slim. Big shout outs to you as well. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.